Okay, and welcome to another review video. So this one is going to be over writing equations. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the first one. And this is where we are given the x-intercepts and a point. So the x-intercepts and a point. So if you'll remember, how we find those x-intercepts is by factoring and then setting each factor equal to 0 and solving. So in this case, it is already solved. I know x is 2 and x is 5. So if I now move the 2 over and set it equal to 0, I now have those two factors. So again, I'm just going in the reverse direction of what we would do if we were solving by factoring. Now, one thing that you don't know when you're doing these and you're given the x-intercepts is we don't know if we originally did a factorization of some greatest common factor. Okay, so in this case, the a is actually our greatest common factor that we would have factored out. We don't know if we did or not. Okay, the other thing that we do need to remember to do is, because we are writing an equation, the 0 needs to be the y, okay, so that we can end up with an equation. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our point to help us find the a value, because I am given an xy here. So we're going to take and we're going to substitute in the x and the y, and then we're going to solve this for a. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 4 minus 5 would be a negative 1. So this simplifies here to a negative 2a is a negative 2. So a is 1. So what that simply means is that I did not take out a greatest common factor. 1 was it. There wasn't anything else to take out of. Now, I'm going to go back because I now know at this point that a was 1. So really my equation is just the x minus 2 times the x minus 5. So I'm going to go ahead and FOIL that out. Okay, so I've got x squared, and I'll have minus 2x minus 5x plus 10. And I'll go ahead and combine like terms. And that is the equation I'm looking for. Okay? Now, do not be surprised if when you're doing it on the test that number is not 1. If, let's do a big if out here. Okay? If dot, dot, dot. A was equal to 2, let's say. Then what I would have done at this point, 2 would have been my greatest common factor. Okay, so that's how we factored out. And then so I would need to just go through and distribute that 2 all the way through. Okay, so again, that is if you're given the intercepts and a point. Now the next one we're going to look at is what happens if we're given the vertex and a point. So this one's going to be a little bit easier, and according to what you're given is which form you're going to use. So again, if I'm given the intercepts, it's easier to do standard form, okay? So I'm thinking I'm going to be writing my equation in standard form because we would have factored, okay? If I'm given the vertex, then I'm going to want to use the vertex form, okay? Now, look at when you're given vertex, you're given your h and k. When you're given your point, you're given your x and your y. So I know 4 of these letters. What I don't know is a. So again, I need to find a, and I need to determine whether or not it's 1 or another number. So I'm going to substitute in. So y is 2. Again, a is what I'm looking for. H is 1. Whoops, sorry, I forgot to put my x in. X is negative 1. h was 1, and then k is 6. Okay? So a -1 minus 1 would be a -2 squared. Excuse me. So that would be 4a plus 6. We're going to move the 6 over. I get a -4 equals 4a. So in this case, a is a -1. Let me double check that. Okay. So we're going to, again, my a is a -1. So now I'm going back to my equation up at the top, and I'm going to put in a -1 for a, and then I'm going to put in my hk so that I get my equation. So y, because I'm writing an equation, equals a -1 x minus h squared plus k. Okay? And then you're done. That's it. Okay? So again, we're not going to multiply this out or anything like what we did the last one, because this is vertex form, and the a just stays out in front. Okay. Our next one, which is the longest of the three, and that is if I'm given 3 points. Okay? So remember, if I'm given 3 points, then I am going to use standard form. I, again, like to come over here to the side and put my points. You can organize it however you want to. Some people like doing just the, and I could show you that because if you wanted to, you could just do the -4, 3. I'll just go ahead and do it this way. And so this would be y, which would be a -3. I'm going to look for ABC here. So in this case, I'm trying to find ABC. Okay? So x squared plus b times x plus c. And some people like to go ahead and just simplify this. So I get 16a minus 4b plus c. And that's fine too if you want to go ahead and do that. I would just somehow kind of highlight or circle or box so that you have it. Or you could always come out over here to the side and do it if you wanted to. Or you could do it like I did in class where I kind of kept it all together. However you want to do it. Your organization is up to you. So 0, -2. So y equals a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c. Now, I do want you to be sure you show me that substitution. So in this case, I've got that c is 2. That makes that really nice. Okay, and then we'll do our last one, which is 1, 7. So y equals a x squared plus b x plus c. So 7 equals a plus b plus c. Okay. So those are my 3 equations that I have. Now, since I know that c is, and I'm going to kind of draw a line here. Since I know that c is a -2, okay, and I could have left some space up there, I'm going to go ahead and put in c to be a -2. I'm going to move that -2 over. So I have -1 equals 16a minus 4b. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with the last equation. I'm going to a plus b, and again, plus c or minus 2, however you want to do that, plus 2 plus 2. I get that 9 equals a plus b. So, okay, there's my other equation. Now, I'm going to do a system, And I'm going to put those two together and eliminate. So I think that the easiest thing to do would be to take this equation and multiply it by 4, okay, because that'll give me 4b. I already have a negative 4b, and those will eliminate. Okay, so I have a negative 1 equals 16a minus 4b. I'm going to distribute, so that is 36 equals 4a plus 4b. Okay, those are going to be eliminated. I've got 35 equals 20a. This one is not going to come out even, so I'm going to divide, and 5 will go in there. I get 7/4. Okay, does that sound and look right? Okay, and then I need to find b, so I'm going to go back to this bottom equation. So 9 equals a plus b. So I'm going to move this over. And let's see, I can change 9 to 36 over 4. So that would be, what is that? 29 over 4 is b. So I've got my a value, I've got my b value, and c I already knew. Okay, now I'm going to write my equation. So I'm going to come back in here, and I'm just putting in my ABC. So y equals a x squared plus bx minus c. Okay? Now, I don't think I've made an error because I've done this twice and got the same thing, but those are kind of nasty fractions that we're working with. But definitely, if you can find an error, let me know. And if you're the first one to find an error, I'll give you some extra credit points. Okay, so that is writing the equations given 3 points, given the vertex and a point, and given the intercepts and a point.